13th floor. The 13th floor.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 13th floor, where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing. Look at that smile. Look at that. He's like a kid in a candy store. Faison over there. I am your moderator, B. Jones, and I'm here with my guys. Faison, what's going on, bro?
What's going on? I am happy to be here, man. I miss weeks work travel, but I'm excited. I love to be here. I love to listen, share, and say some crazy things. So I'm back, baby.
I'm right there with you. What is this never say no to Domo?
Oh, Domo arigato. Never say no to Domo.
J Dace, what's happening, man?
Hey, what's going on, y'all, man? It's like Art said, man, it's just a pleasure to be back, man. You know, work, school, the grind kind of keeps you preoccupied, but it's good to be back.
Easy. Mojito Freshito, what's going on, bro?
Hey, man, I am the rock. Always here, baby. Always nestled in on the 13th floor. Y'all know what it is, man. Fresh is here. Fresh
You know,
is
that might be true, man. I think you're probably the only person that hasn't missed the episode yet.
Ain't no might be, baby. Check it.
We got to check the tape.
Consistency.
Coach K, man, how you feeling this morning?
I'm here, man. I guess we must have got some bad reviews or something for last podcast episode.
Where's the normal host?
Yeah. Where's the normal host? Kick this guy off.
Really?
This guy up, something. So I don't know, but I'm good. I'm here.
Easy, man.
My regular role.
Yeah, there you go, man. Hey, we got a lot of stuff we want to get into, man. First things first, man. I want to talk about how the NFL has lost their mind once again with this new policy. You know, you take a knee, you getting fined, or the organization gets fined, or you have the option of staying in the locker room. And it's such a major flex of power that it seems to be actually illegal at this point in time, because the rule was passed without even consulting with the players union.
First, I want to give kudos to the Jets coach ownership, because he's already come out and made the statement that he will pay for any players who get fined for taking that knee. Just like you said, I think it's very odd that ruling like this can come down without any player involvement, because we already know how prevalent the issue is right now. I don't want to call it an issue as much as the stance that players are taking, and to think of a country where we're supposed to have freedom of speech, and something continually as simple as taking a knee, not as a sign of disrespect, but as a sign of not feeling that this country is living up to what it says that it's supposed to, is really just eye-opening. You know, one of the owners last year talked about the players. Well, he called them it's like the prisoners running the prison, right? So the fact that he creates that analogy lets you know the thought process of the majority of these owners, and that they still, at the end of the day, feel that they are plantation owners working with slaves. And so it's just eye-opening. Looks to be another year of NFL protest at a minimum. Maybe if anything, I was speaking with my business partner, and he was talking about showing all his NFL love to the Jets simply because their ownership has already come out and made that statement. But to me, I'm more on the, NFL as a whole really has a lot of making up to do for me to feel that I want to participate in watching their entertainment any further.
And it's funny that you mentioned, the whole comment. I think that was Jerry Jones, wasn't it?
It was Jerry Jones
that said the inmates running the prison. Because another caveat to this is that the NFL has empowered the individual teams to come up with punishments and fines and whatnot. And that reminds me exactly of Jim Crow, because it wasn't so much the federal laws about slavery. It was the state laws that were the worst things. And you just empowered now all these owners and these groups to do what they see fit to keep their players in line. So you are 100% correct to borrow your statement. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens from here. And I think Brett shared an article where they were talking about freedom of speech. And because it's a business, there's some crossover there where that may not necessarily be the avenue that they can go down, but it's going to be so interesting, man.
That's what they always do, right? Is those with money and power figure out the ways to find those loopholes to go ahead and be slick about how they're able to enforce their power.
You know what? And if that's the case and they can get this thing passed and find the legalities of it, I'm fine with that. Because at this point, I think it's imperative that we take these moments and this what's happening right now and look at why am I even playing in this league? You know, I don't think it's a far-fetched idea for some of our millionaires and billionaires to come together and create a league if they so wish to. I don't think it's a far-fetched idea. Setting up the infrastructure, you know, it'll probably be daunting because you have to have arenas and places to play the games. But when it comes to the infringement upon your rights and your ability to voice your opinion, you're giving a whole section of America the ability to voice their opinion about something, but my opinion all of a sudden is not valid. It's not valid at this point. So if that's what comes out of it, I am completely okay with that. Oprah, Jigga, Diddy.
Hey, Diddy was
Kaepernick.
already trying to buy the Panthers, right?
The Panthers, yes.
Yeah.
That fell through. He didn't get the opportunity to do that, but I'm 100% in agreement where it's from moments like these that you have those, you know, big changes. There's already been talks about creating a league with minority owners, you know, more majority. The majority of owners are minorities, I guess is the easiest way to put it. But it's, you know, that's something Tupac was talking about before he passed away. He had these big dreams of almost like his thought process was that the entertainers would be the owners of the teams in order to be able to better infuse in the community. So it'd be like the Snoop Dogg NFL team, but it was because people already love Snoop. So, you know, people would turn in and support Snoop. And then on top of it, it would be, you know, like the Jay-Z NFL team as well, because then it's about getting that cross state lines love, but also having those head figures that are attracting, you know, new viewers and everything like that. So I think that will be definitely very interesting. It's kind of, well, I won't say kind of, because I feel the NBA does a great job of handling issues like this or handling moments like this. Again, I don't want to call it an issue because I don't believe it is, but it's like Ice Cube with the Big Three, right? Where that opportunity of breaking off something that can be successful in some type of way, while granted he is using players past retirement or that are not making it into the league anymore, but it's still very entertaining, and he's found a way to capitalize on, you know, people's love for sports at the end of the day.
Well, two things. I think that Tupac note was in the movie, which I didn't know that. Again, so you said it again, reminded me that was something that he was doing in the background. And two, I think just like Elon Musk and, you know, some of those big players that Vince McMahon had in his back pocket, because he's bringing back the XFL next year. It's supposed to be the process. And I think this is the perfect opportunity for him to actually take advantage of that opening that's there. So it's kind of crazy.
I think that's partially exactly what he's doing, right? Because Vince is a super strategic businessman, one, and don't take for granted the power that the 30 for 30 that they ran last year and the resurgence in new visibility of the XFL that, you know, got the pop back stirring where it was like, oh, man, I do remember that. And people all of a sudden like, oh, and like I said, Vince doesn't hold back. And as soon as he sees blood in the wire, he's like, man, let's jump on it, figure it out. So I'm definitely interested.
And I think, and I want to do this because it seems like we always get into some type of sports theme in our episodes, but I want to take it from being a sports theme to just looking at these guys as employees. And they're in a very interesting situation because this is their livelihood. So they have to be very careful about how they go about voicing their concerns voicing their opposition to this new rule. So really and truly, just like a lot of businesses and a lot of industry in the United States, they have a union, and basically the union was not consulted before they went ahead and passed this. So these guys, it's in their best interest to work through the union.
Absolutely.
To get this shot down. But if you just think about them as employees, one of the changing things in the American environment is the consumer. And what are we as consumers going to do to help combat this? Because here is an employer that doesn't treat their associates well, their employees well, and should we give them our business? So I got into an exchange with a IG intellect, right? Yeah, a IG intellect on the situation. And he was trying to say that, black people boycotting the NFL isn't going to do anything because we're only 15% of the earnings of the
15% of how much?
Right. 15% of how much? What does that come out to? And my thing was, okay, well, one, what's the percentage of black players? That's one. Two, even if it's 15%, do you think that they're really going to give you the true number that we really impact? And his whole thing was, well, if the players aren't going to do anything, I'm not going to limit my entertainment factor for somebody that's not going to fight with me for something that directly impacts them. It doesn't really impact me. And I'm just like, see, this is exactly why,
right,
as a people, we will never,
right,
because of that type of thinking. And I was thinking that this person might have been a younger person, but he's in his 40s. So it's like, man, you're so deaf, dumb, and blind that you don't understand what you're saying right now is ridiculous.
Cousins of crab in a barrel, right?
Going back to the whole slavery mentality, yeah, we were for entertainment and we were for labor. And I'm sure they had the same mentality. Well, if they don't stand up and fight for themselves, why should we? So let's just keep making money. And
is that what the dudes in the house were saying, right? That's what the guys in the house were saying was, well, if them out in the field ain't going to fight, I mean, what we need to fight for.
Right, exactly. So, man, it's just sad. And I do think in all things social activism or whatever, it is on us. It's on us with the media. Stop watching their shows. If the media doesn't get the ratings that they need to get, they're going to have to change their content. It's the same thing for any business. If they don't change the way that they choose to do business or the way they treat their employees or their customers, then don't support them. They will have to change what they do. That's the most American way that there is out there. And I feel like when we truly adopt that type of thinking, not only will we improve ourselves as a people, but we will improve America overall.
And if you guys don't believe that, what content will change and sway what a channel produces, just go ahead and turn to music, television, and video hits one. That's MTV and VH1, all video-based channels that started all about music and videos, and now you are hard pressed to even find one music video on any of those channels.
Yeah. Now that happens I don't think that people realize that they have that type of power. Like we, the people, have that kind of power. I mean, it happens all the time when you're in, just history has shown. I think the social rights movement or civil rights movement, with MLK, he pushed like, don't buy their stuff. Don't shop there. And when they did that, signs came down. And maybe it wasn't to the effect that they would have wanted, but it's just history has shown. And when you look back, and we can apply that same principle today. So definitely hit the head on the nail on the head, okay, with that one.
Not only that, I think it speaks to a point that you made a while ago, Carol, about doing things that not necessarily impact you, but will impact others. So the NFL players, they already have a split in support amongst their own group. You have the Drew Breeses of the world saying, I'm a patriot, I'm going to stand, I'm going to put my hand over my heart. But then you have a Chris Long who gets it and understands that it's a monetary decision at the end of the day. And I'm one to believe that I don't necessarily know that we're gonna make the biggest financial impact. But 15% of $40 billion is a lot of freaking money. And any company year over year that's looking to grow typically wants 10% is
you lose 15%. That's a problem.
That's
they're not about to let go of 15%. Yeah, they're not about to let money too important. They're not about to let go of 15%.
Right. And so for this IG personality to not understand the impact of us supporting them in this journey, because I think the Malcolm Jenkins of the world and the rest of the players union are going to fight this battle on the appropriate turf and win. Not just because of this being almost illegal as far as the collective bargaining is concerned, but they also have, I'm pretty sure, the evidence that was used, and we're going to segue into Colin Kaepernick's collusion lawsuit in a second, but the evidence that was gathered or the poll that was used to figure out who's watching what and who feels Colin Kaepernick should be on the team and is it impacting the NFL and all of that stuff, that more or less was more than likely used to make this decision.
Right.
So,
and I'm gonna help you transition to that Colin Kaepernick thing, because that's how I actually started entertaining this person, because you guys know I'm not going to engage any tough guy, whether it be from an intellectual or a physical standpoint on social media. But this individual said, "Oh, this is all Cap's fault because Cap thought he was going to strong arm the league into signing him to a better contract, and he tried this just to get attention." I was just like,
his fault. I appreciate you, Cap.
Wow.
It absolutely is your fault.
You're really drinking the slow killer is what you're drinking, because how do you see it that way? Like this isn't what he set out to do. He set out to have his silent protest that people would know why he's doing it. It had nothing to do with the NFL. It was about, hey, let me do this. This is going to bring light to social injustice.
Yeah, but
the NFL chose to make it about, oh, what is he doing? Then
for their convenience, of course.
45 jumped in and made it about politics.
Yeah,
say Cap
patriotism.
Even at all think about Cap wasn't at all envisioning this point to where he's been pushed to. Cap wasn't even thinking it was going to be a true issue or something that was going to, cause an uproar, right? It isn't like this is the first time anybody has taken a knee during the Pledge of Allegiance in the history of NFL, right? It's only because of the way that it was defined afterwards, when it was really like, well, why did you do it? And the fact that it was perceived as being against America and oh, you're against the flag, instead of absorbing what he was really just, well, no, it was just a personal feeling at that moment. I just kind of felt like, I kind of had enough and had the thought process of, well, wait a minute, all of the stuff that it's saying, I really don't feel that way. Let me just go ahead and take a knee, more representation of what I feel is my fallen soldiers, as far as, the minorities that are lost all the time. That was really more his thought process. He had no envision of being like, what, I'm about to be the next Martin Luther King because I'm going to take this knee. That was not his process at all. But what is making him step into that Martin Luther role, right, is the fact that he didn't back down when all of a sudden all the light got shown on him, and that it became this battle, right? And instead of him allowing them to push him into a space of agreeing and pushing it into talking about the flag, he made sure to stand up and be articulate and continually saying, no, while you guys keep on trying to push it here, no, my dad is in the Army, or you know what I mean? I have all types of family members who are in the armed forces. That 100%, that is not what we're talking about here. And so being able to continuously sway that conversation and keep on shining the light back in the point that he wants is really where it came from. And going back to those NFL owners, it's you start feeling that, it's wow, they really feel like plantation owners, and really that history of what those owners have, and makes you start to feel and wonder about what in the background was potentially that NFL momentum based on, right? Because if you watch the Columbines of the players, being observed, it's eerily similar to watching, slave trade videos and seeing how they're out there.
The combine.
Yes,
not the Columbine.
That's why
I was like, where is he going?
So, I really hope the NFL gets this right because I don't want to miss another year of football, especially with Deshaun Watson coming back, Patrick Mahomes playing. I think it's a lot of good time.
Nobody cares about the Bucks. Come on, man. Keep it moving.
I ain't even mentioned the Bucks player yet. What are you talking about? I said Deshaun Watson, not Jackson.
Oh, my fault. Sorry.
Hey, just because y'all got y'all little Super Bowl, man, get out of here. Put him on mute.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I hope they get this right. Dang, see, you made me lose my daggone point, man. Oh,
that's the Eagles.
You say you don't want to miss another year of football.
Keep it moving.
Oh, but in lieu of the collective bargaining agreement, the renegotiations in 2021, because I can absolutely see there being a lockout or they don't come to work. Come on, man, help me out.
Strike.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Columbine.
They don't come to work.
Say, watch me struggle. Come on, man. Absolutely see a strike in that because there's going to be so much contention and dissonance or disagreements with the negotiations, especially if it ends up still being centered around these social injustice issues, man. So I think the NFL, the players have a huge upper hand going into this thing, but I hope they get it right, man, because it'd be a shame unless, the Oprahs, the Jay-Z's, the Stedmans, and Diddy's of the world come together to make this new league.
Stedman in those conversations. Right? Man, don't nobody be mentioning no side piece.
Side piece need love too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Side pieces run the world. Anyway, moving right along, man. We had Harvey Weinstein, man, getting his day in court. I'm glad to see it happen. There seems to be but at the same time, man, we got another one going down in Morgan Freeman.
Man, look, I don't know if any of you guys have watched some of these alleged conversations and things like, I know the big one right now is I believe she's a reporter or something, but she was pregnant at the time and all of them were sitting at the thing and she was saying something, the way that he looked at me. And then they show the video. Look, again,
I didn't watch the video yet.
I am not at all condoning any type of sexual harassment. However, ladies, anytime a gentleman says something to you or gives you a compliment is not necessarily equating to sexual harassment. Further, when you watch the video, his co-star is in a conversation discussing something where it is open for his statement to be represented for what his coworker was saying or for what, for the lady in the chair. But either way, it wasn't like some, I want to put it in your booty hole or something crazy. Like he was just, it was just something like, ooh, I wish I was there for that too. Like that was literally the statement. And she tried to say that, oh, he was talking about me because I was pregnant and at the time, and if you watch and look at his eyes. So I was ready for like seeing some slimy snake dude looking stuff. And I mean, honestly, I didn't see it. So again, it's not about, I just don't want it to be this new situation where sexual harassment is being equated to any minuscule type of thing that it just opens up Pandora's box of being having these accusations placed on you. Again, I am not condoning any type of sexual harassment, and if you feel uncomfortable, I believe it is your right to step up and say something. However, I do not feel that every little incident is some type of severe sexual harassment.
So I think here is the challenge. The challenge is that as males, we will not be able to police that situation.
Yep, 100%.
It's going to have to be females self-monitoring that situation, because I think any allegation or insinuation may have to be investigated just because.
Right.
But I think they're going to have to start calling out the ones that are not valid, the ones that are going to make it just look like people are crying wolf.
Yeah, like the Ziri Azizi guy. Like I thought that was a
where it's like you came to my concert, you knew who I was, you already like we had all these different conversations, you knew what time it was, and you just got upset because we weren't gonna create a relationship out of this, not because of what happened. You know what I mean? And it's just
where's the line?
It's
yeah. It's just gonna go too far to the other side, and people that have legitimate claims, legitimate concerns, they're gonna get overlooked because it's just gonna be we're gonna become desensitized to it.
Yeah,
right.
It's going to get so polluted with all of these different. Oh well, he was looking at me, and I was wearing red, and I found out later that he loves the color red, and so I think that when he was looking at me 2 weeks ago, it was actually sexual harassment. No, it wasn't. Stop. Like, you can't just have because
is looking at somebody considered like can you look at somebody and sexually harass them? Is that possible?
You stare too long at this point. You stare too long.
Like this
harassment. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I feel like especially in the workplace.
And it could definitely
workplace. Yeah,
it's probably way more subjective than it maybe should be. I know for me, and seeing all of this stuff, it just makes me hypersensitive.
Right.
As to how I interact, converse, or anything with any female, whether it be on the street and in the workplace, because you just never know. And I would hate for a simple misunderstanding to get snowballed into this whole sexual harassment thing,
right? You have that moment of you were just playing and we're just, oh man, girl, you looking good today, and just on some general, just trying to be friendly, and then all of a sudden it turns into
you got a phone call from HR.
I look good today,
right?
Yeah. Like, whoa, I was just trying to, and now all of a sudden you get that cloud over you, right? That new oh, well, he's a scuzzball. He's a slime bag. He's a, it's like, no, I was trying to be nice. And so it's extremely interesting. Again, Morgan, I didn't get a chance to view the full scope of the sexual harassment, but from what I read, there was no Bill Cosby weighted type situations. It seemed to all be more focused around things like he in meetings he would make slightly inappropriate comments, or he would do he would look at me when we were having a meeting and things of this nature, that it doesn't seem to be anything as progressive as touching or drugging anyone. But again, I don't want to devalue, I don't know if that's the correct word, but try to discredit my dog. The weight of any type of sexual sexual harassment allegations. At the same time, though, in the quick skim of seeing all of the different accusations for Morgan, I didn't see anything that initially stood out as some, oh my God, this is another serial sexual predator, as much as it was. He's a dirty old man.
No, that's not it. Wow. Somebody figures if they can take down the male dominated symbol of God, then nobody else stands a chance.
Message.
Anyway, keep it going.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think some of this stuff might stem from those previous allegations of him sleeping with his granddaughter, which have both been vehemently denied on both parts. I mean, she's it looks to be she's deceased at this point, but she had vehemently denied those allegations or accusations at one point in time too. So they're trying to paint the dirty old man picture, but I don't know. I'm with you, man. I don't think God did it.
Facts.
Moving right along, man. Hey, so it's Men's Wellness Month here on the 13th floor, and to kick that off, we're gonna try to give y'all some healthy food tips, man. We got a lot of great chefs on this podcast right now, Coach K included, myself, Freshito. I don't know, Jay, you be getting busy in the kitchen?
I do what I does, man. I mean, I don't do nothing too crazy, but I try to dibble dabble where I can.
That man said a towel is mandatory.
Oh yeah, you gotta have a towel on your shoulder. If you ain't got a towel on your shoulder, you ain't cooking, bro.
I'm a football player, so I typically put it in my shorts. But you know, I'm right there.
You got a towel. You know what I mean? Oh, not sanitary. You know what I mean?
So what we want to offer, man, is some helpful tips, man, because I think a lot of us get into, and I think it's transitioning a lot nowadays. But we still have a lot of us that, you know, instead of eating to live, we live to eat. You know,
right.
And it's a lot that we can do out there as far as research is concerned, and you know, healthier foods. I think one of the simplest things that I learned once I started going from, you know, like regular food to more organic or natural stuff is what eggs to eat. So, you know, and it's crazy because Walmart is probably not the best place to buy your organic or cage-free eggs. I say that because you can tell how good an egg is for you if you look at the yolk. Now, I went to Walmart one day and got a carton of cage-free eggs. I probably shouldn't say their name. You should probably edit that out, Fresh. But we're going to keep it going. I went into this retailer one day, got a carton of cage-free eggs, and the yellower or more oranges, the yolk, signifies the diet that the chicken had. And so I got I've bought cage-free organic eggs before and seen Trader Joe's great place to buy these eggs. They're typically pretty orange. But I get these yellow eggs from Walmart, or these eggs from Walmart, crack them open. I'm like, yo, this is a regular egg. Not only that, my daughter, she's real picky, right? But you would not think that your average 8-year-old will be able to tell the difference between a regular egg and an organic egg. However, I bought these eggs, and when I tell you, she looked at them and was like, these are not good. And I cook them same way, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of pepper, same way I do any other time. And she automatically, you know, no, I can't eat this. This is not good. So just one little tip right there. When you buy your eggs, make sure you get a reputable retailer. But look at it when you open it, man. Once you crack that egg, if that yolk is not orange, it probably
orange,
didn't have
like
the
oranger. So you have like that nice bright yellow, but then when you get into like that deeper orangish yellow, like almost going into the sun type of color, then you know you got you a good egg.
That's
so it's not necessarily that there's something wrong with the yellow yolk per se. What it really says is that they've only been on one type of diet. There's only one food, which in most cases is probably going to be grain, which grain isn't good for them. Grain isn't really good for us because we just can't digest it, but digest it well. The orange effect comes from a varied diet where they get more exposure to carotene, which makes it orange. So the diversity of their diet is what you're looking for, because then you get the most nutrients out of it.
Look at this guy.
Absolutely, man. So like that's my health tip for the podcast. You guys got any others that you would like to share with the listeners?
Man, grill your food. If you put your food over that open flame, you know, you're going to get a lot more of those, the fat and all the extra stuff to drip off and go ahead, and you're going to be able to take out some of those calories from your meal just like that. Not to mention, what tastes better than something fresh off the grill?
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Hey, and just to keep going, because somebody's gonna dig in. Slow and low is the way to go.
Yes, sir.
When you try to get your grill up to high heat and you use a bunch of charcoal and all that stuff, yes, it does create carcinogens and all that stuff. So slow and low. You'll see most of us on here when we do it, we tend to do that slow and low process. Some of us use wood. Some of us use smokers. So if you ever want to see some of our stuff, we usually go by hashtag Brothers in Smoke. So we, in any of our upcoming stuff, we will do Brothers in Smoke, and we'll also hashtag 13th Floor.
There it is.
There it is. Not looking too good for the grilling this weekend. Oh, it is Memorial Day. Shout out to all our veterans and lost soldiers coming up. But Faison.
Yeah, well, wait, because we didn't talk about, so everyone's all on the grilling thing, and I'm just waiting to get my time in because you didn't.
I was coming to you right there, man.
Any kind of respect on the cooking aspect, because I don't post anything about it. I am quite a
Hey,
ramen noodles are great, bro. You're absolutely right. You're excellent.
They don't want to hear about them closet cookers, man. Show the people.
What you got?
It's all good. I'll just lay it out on a plate and on the table.
Hey man,
Wow.
please share with the people the benefits of putting cinnamon in your spaghetti sauce.
Cinnamon is a cure-all be-all, and do not. Yeah, cinnamon is a great spice that is very underlooked. And it hides the taste. And it also, if you're ever okay, here we go. If you're ever in the house,
He hit that dumpy.
and someone, there's a smell in the house you need to get rid of. There is nothing better than boiling a cinnamon stick.
Grandma did that all the time.
And turn it on. It will kill any smell in the house. So that's one thing to put in there. But I'm going to go down to the youth, to the baby aspect, because I've been baby chefing and making things. So, the foods you're buying or foods you may buy in these stores that you get for, you can make it all yourself, dramatically cheaper, and with the same or even better taste without all the preservatives or additives to it. Absolutely. So make yourself, like, just for instance, Renze's mix this week, he's getting avocado, he's getting spinach, he's getting cucumbers, and he's getting some apple. And then on an off week, he has blueberries, he has spinach, spinach is a core no matter what. Spinach is always there because it's important. Had that. Apple and some banana. So that's all made fresh in the pouches you can get. You buy the pouches yourself, you put it in the refrigerator. So don't think the quality of food you put for yourself, you got to put in the babies. Don't go out and buy everything because it's convenient. Sometimes making it in advance and taking it is the best possible way of doing it.
Baby food don't even look
you
good.
heard us talking about organic foods, and I'll take it one level up. Grass-fed beef, free-range chicken. It is worth it.
Bird, baby.
Investing that now will save you from investing in doubles at the doctor's office, surgery.
Yes.
So look at it as an investment in your future.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna throw one in. I'm gonna go a quick side to what you're drinking with the food. I'm gonna say water, man. Just how important water is. Something that you can do is called water-induced thermogenesis, to where you chug about 17 ounces of water at a time, and it actually increases your metabolic rate. I think within about 10 minutes, by 30%, having its full effect within about 30 to 40 minutes. So just chugging water, man, and just, throughout the day, and making sure you get that adequate amount of water inside of you, because your body depends on it. So definitely with the food aspect, but get that water, stay hydrated.
We just want to make sure that you guys, I know last time Jay was on, he talked about grounding. So don't go chugging now that, 16 ounces while you grounding. You might just self-combust. You got to be careful. There's a lot of energy transfer.
You might short circuit yourself.
Catch a glitch or something. So be careful while you out there doing it, but still do it all the same. Stay hydrated, y'all. Stay hydrated, people. Stay
hydrated and stay up, man. We're going to be dropping different health tips this week, man. Food-related health tips to go along with the podcast. So, yeah, stay up with us at 13th Floor, please, on all your social media so you can get those tips so you can eat to live. Eat to live.
Yes, sir.
Faison, we coming back to you, sir, for your corner this week, and then I'm going to hit Fresh In Biz.
It's the corner for Faison.
Yeah, thank you. Simple, man. Simple. And as we go through everything we talk about today, don't forget a person's greatest emotional need is to feel appreciated. So through all these things that all is happening, at the end of the day, if you look at the root cause, is most of the time going to be because a person needs to feel appreciated. So when you're going through somewhere, tell someone thank you, give them a smile, whatever it may be, take care of them, but make sure they feel appreciated at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Freshito and Bizniso, what you got for us this week?
So last week we discussed, you had this great entrepreneurial ideal. You said, you know what, I'm going to take that leap. You started your Facebook page, started telling the people like, you know what, I got this great new service or product. And I'm going to tell you already failed. Why? Because you didn't think about the fact that you need to have a marketing budget. just because you have the newest thing since sliced white bread, it does not mean that anybody else cares. And especially the ones closest to you are going to care the least. So that means that you need to get the word out, right? So if you're going to have that Facebook page, you need to start making the dedication of creating what is called a marketing budget to go ahead and tell the people about what you are, what service or product that it is that you have. And so I want all of y'all entrepreneurs to take the first step before you even think of pushing this thing out the gate, to have a dedication and an understanding that there is a need for a marketing budget, some way for you to relate to the people how great your service or product is in order for them to come to you and spend money. So that's the fresh tip today. If you fresh in biz, make sure you have a marketing budget. Other than that, you're failing. So don't fail, succeed. Marketing budget. Let's go.
Can we connect that dot for them? A marketing budget gets you a marketing plan, which every business needs.
I was going to say that for next week, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to do a little
You can run with that next week, sir.
Exactly.
There it is.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you can get this podcast on Apple, iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube. We got the videos dropping on Facebook, Instagram. Remember, we at 13th floor. Please, if you want to get connected with us on all social media platforms. The U is back, baby. The U is back, baby.
YouTube. Video. YouTube.
Hey, don't forget about Vimeo. All y'all forget about Vimeo. It's a great product. Vimeo has.
It's a great platform.
Yeah, it's really worth taking the opportunity to go ahead and check out some things. We have our own channel on Vimeo. So yeah, if y'all happen to mosey on over to that website, it would be okay if you stopped on the 13th floor.
And if we do happen to hop on the grill this weekend, man, look out for them live videos. The Brothers in Smoke. I don't have a smoker yet because I don't have a house yet. But soon enough, I'll be coming with them tips.
You have a grill though, right?
I absolutely have a grill. I got a little smoky. I wouldn't necessarily call it a grill. I got one of them little 12-inch joints that you got to kneel down and, play with it.
What?
Oh, what?
Wow.
Okay. Sorry about that question. We're going to exit out, ladies and gentlemen.
Edit that out. Yeah, pause. But yeah, I got a little baby grill. And then I have a bigger grill, but I don't have really space for it. That cowboy joint. You remember the cowboy grill?
Somebody's coming after us, man.
They'll be all right, man. We like to have fun. We like to have fun. J-Days.
What's going on, man?
You got to take us home, baby.
Oh, okay. No doubt. So, man,
yeah, because we don't know when you're going to be here again. So I figured I would give up my right, to close.
Plus, the people was like, I guess, throwing Carol out his chair or something last week. So,
yep.
But no, man, to bring it all together as far as going back to the social injustices, man, I would say, when one of us goes through, we all go through. You know what I mean? So if it's not, I understand that it may not be affecting you directly right now, but it will be affecting you indirectly in the future. So I would say it's not so much about race or skin color, it's about character. And if you feel that, you wouldn't want to be treated that way, you feel that you wouldn't be wanting to go through what somebody else may be going through, it's our duty as a human being to stand up for that personnel.
All right, and before we let Jay get away, if you struggle with managing your weight, with being motivated to continue on that track, Jay Dace is absolutely on that. I saw him doing windshield wipers yesterday. For those of you that don't know, that's when you're holding on to the pull-up bar. You got your legs up and you take them from left to right. I saw Jay Dace doing that yesterday. So if you'd like to be motivated by Jay Dace, where can they follow you, sir?
IG at JDace_encourages, and likewise on Facebook at JDace_encourages. Also on YouTube, JDace encourages. Just hit me up. Let's go make it happen. Your health is of vital importance, man.
Hey, JDace,
so when you miss them here, you can find them there.
Say that one more time.
First, you encourage.
I do my very best to, most definitely.
Hey, man, before we get out of here, man, we done for the regular stuff, man. I'm serious about this Infinity Wars, though, man. Somebody break this down for me and what actually happened, because I did miss Thor Ragnarok. I did not watch The Last Avengers or whatnot. I'm terribly confused as to how Thanos dies but doesn't die and kills half the planet, including Black Panther. Mind you, he got killed after having the best movie ever.
Oh, bro, I was so mad. Why didn't they take out War Machine?
Right? Oh, God.
I mean, I feel like by now everybody saw it.
He just saw it.
It's been out like 2 weeks.
Oh.
I waited 2 weeks to see it. So if you ain't seen it by now, spoiler alert. I'm sorry you missed it.
They couldn't take out War Machine though. Like, what does he do?
Who the hell is War Machine? I never saw any of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
They pulled the freaking Vision. They just pulled the damn thing out of his head. Like what's really happening?
It's the rapper.
Yeah, there's not enough time to try to explain
At all.
and witness, man. There is no what happened was death, nothing but death. You know, yeah, man. To try to jump into the comic book universe and explain everything that was capsulated into that 2 hour.
And it was changed. It was modified dramatically.
Oh, of course.
So modified dramatically.
Yeah.
Was it condensed immensely? Because I felt like this is probably one of the worst Marvel movies that they've made.
No,
What?
you had to watch the other movies.
Yeah.
Next to Black Panther, this is like the best.
Yeah.
Well, I say that because I don't follow them in
We
order.
weren't getting any jokes. Like, there's so many tie-in jokes that passed back.
And that was it for me. So like all of the ones that I have watched, whether it been the second one and I didn't watch the first one, they all made sense. This one made absolutely no sense.
Just because this one connects so much stuff.
Yeah.
This is for
10 years of build up for our movies.
For real fans
4.5 hours.
of comic books, and to really like you watch the progression of all the films that Marvel has put out from, I believe when Iron Man came out, that was the first one for this, you know, what all of these are together, you know, representing. And this is one of those, like a real comic book and superhero lover film, and it's historic as one of the first, I don't know if the only one, where you watch the villain win and are left with, you know, breathless at the end of the day in confusion.
Ain't nobody gonna talk about how the Hulk got bashed though?
The Hulk got beat down so much. He was like, "No, I don't want any. No, pineapples. Pineapples.
Come outside,
bro. He got work, bro.
Mine in. That's Debo.
Yeah.
My dog was like, "No,
bro." I was like,
He got whooped.
What?
I was so mad.
I didn't even know he had a choice."
That whole storyline of how the World War Hawk changed, like his anger. By the time he got to Thanos, it was a whole different beast. So it did happen. Hawk did get to the point where he was fearsome coming out. That was a different storyline though. But yeah, it happened. But at this point, if you were following like comic book episode 447, yeah, it'd have been different. The whole Thanos snap thing was a whole different meaning behind why he did that, and where it's good, but the tie-in is. The way he tied it all in and got everyone going forward is amazing. If you just watched Civil War, Thor Ragnarok, and you can probably skip Guardians 2, but Guardians 1, you probably would grasp a lot more information about what
So
happened.
I gotta go watch Ragnarok because I didn't even know that was Thor until like 30 minutes of him talking. I didn't know that was Captain America because they all got beards and stuff now.
She's like, yo, what is going on? When they got a lumberjack? I don't even know.
Paul Bunyan out here.
Is that the Brawny Man?
Why he ain't got no flannel, son?
Yo, it was crazy. So I gotta go
And
back
Thanos,
and watch.
yeah, Thanos isn't dead, so don't worry about that. That was
Well, I
just,
know he isn't
he
dead.
is-
He's like at home chilling because he just accomplished his mission. So
He
he
did what
has
he
to
said
watch
he
the
was gonna do.
sunset.
With
He
children.
watched the sunset.
there's so many theories out there on how they're going to do it. I mean, only
You
Marvel.
saw the end, no credit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
Thanos will return or something like that.
No, with the
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel
Captain Marvel?
is going to be one of the next movies.
But listen
I don't
again.
know. I might have missed that. I
It's
stayed
all the
till
way
the
at the
very
end.
end.
People with a marketing budget, the whole women's empowerment, and now you look at who do they put out there that may potentially come save the day? Captain Marvel, one of the most powerful women figures in the Marvel comic universe.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah, I peeped that. I peeped that.
Okay.
Again, get yourself a marketing budget.
Hey. Message.
There it is. We out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for listening with us here on the 13th floor, where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing.
There's only one way down. You gotta jump.
The 13th floor. The The 13th floor.